Atlantean Orcust and even Sacred Beast. Now this is a WCQ top. You guys smash the link crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out. More awesome content. Alright, so we're going to be looking at the Hong Kong Asian qualifier here, which was held on May 31st. It was 7 rounds of Swiss. Top 11 players advanced to the playoff, and 11 players and the 5-seeded players play off in the top 16 elimination. And champion is invited to the WCQ 2026. And of course, Revolution Booster was not allowed for this, which is fine. We get to actually see kind of how this meta is kind of wrapping up here. Now this top cut it's pretty cool tune heavy, but that doesn't mean down here in the lower half of the meta that there wasn't very interesting other choices. You know, for example, we had Orcust creeping into top 8. We have Atlantean bursting through into top 16. You know, we also get to see, you know, things like Blitzclick, Sacred Beast also coming in to some of the more, you know, top seeded finishes, which I think is pretty interesting. Just kind of talk about. So winning our event here was none other than Cooltoon. One of the big trends right now that is happening with this deck is pivoting to playing Fallen and Virtuous, which is something that I really did not expect to see. I truthfully, when this kind of started up, I didn't really think that this would be something that would, you know, kind of take off, but it has. And genuinely, I'm more surprised about that than I should be. We're also playing the 2 spell negates. You have the driver, the gamma. That's all pretty normal from what you've seen in a majority of these lists over time. Also, triple dominance purge down here. So now we actually have a list that's pivoting into playing this. Guess I should have seen that coming, all things considered. And then we have Elf Note. Now, they have access to June Pride, which is just one of the biggest saving graces that you can give this deck. Considering, you know, your consistency goes up through the roof. I also see we're playing 2 of the little guy, 1 power patron, because you're going through the triple terminus gate here, just to be able to kind of get things set up. And then, holy crap, man, holy hand traps. Of course, I mean, that's why this deck is notoriously powerful. You're able just to do all of the good things that you need to be able to do. Outside of that, you have the Pot-A-Going Sec. I feel like you've got a lot of options with this. Also, the Blackwing kind of showing up is interesting. Now we have more Cooltoon down here. Once again, we get to see that discrepancy. You know, how many Fallen and Virtuous do you want to be playing within this list? It does actually have its merits. And this is also where you get to see the Gravekeepers monster coming back into play. That kind of took some people by surprise. Remember, when your opponent, you know, Ritual of Light and Darkness is, it has an effect that discards. So you're able to trade this off and then force the destruction of the Mind Shuffle, which is actually really cool. It doesn't mean that it's a consistently good piece, but it's something unique enough that you can actually consider playing and actually, you know, kind of have it work out in favor for you. We also have more Cooltoons. I don't think you're going to get as cool as that. Triple Fallen and Virtuous, yet again, 2 extra deck slots being dedicated to that. Still, I mean, you have full power for this. And then 5 Solemns in the side deck. Holy crap, man. They really just, they're pushing for it. Looks like we've also got the Dark Magician hybrid build popping back up again for Ritual and Light and Darkness. I don't hate the idea of being able to, like, combine these 2 packages together, because Dark Magical Curtain is just kind of free real estate for this deck, and I understand why you're choosing to explore that path. It's because it does open up a lot more play time for you. We also have the triple Radiant Typhoon Visions in here. I mean, to be fair, like, you have, by having access to Curtain Crowns, like, your Radiant Typhoon Vision just gets infinite more value for what you would kind of expect. So that's really cool. We also get to see Dracotail. Hey, look, another deck that's absolutely been obliterated in their format. Guess the only difference between us and them is we have 2 Lucayas. they have 3. I guess that's really it. Still choosing to play the traps. We have the Nidir Servants to kind of open up. It's interesting to see that this deck is actually choosing to play the Nidir Servant, because you would figure like you need as much access to your extra deck as you can kind of get. So kind of cutting off that possibility kind of hurts, but that's interesting. Side decking the additional trap card. All right, this is what I wanted to see. So what in the world does a modern Orcust deck look like in the OCG? I'm going to tell you straight off the bat here, this looks kind of bad. They always, I don't know what it is with the OCG, but you guys love Brass Bombard, man. The TCG just curls up and wants to cry looking at Brass Bombard, but for whatever reason, this card pops up in the OCG all the time, and they're just like, oh yeah, you know, this card actually has some synergy. I mean, I guess, but it's just like, and then you're also playing the big Orcust. Like, how do you get away with this? That's crazy to me. And we're seeing Orchestration actually seeing playtime. We've also got Bells, Ogres, Perulias, all the standard side deck love that you'd want to see. Ritual of Light and Darkness Turbo with Clowns. So once again, I mean, this is where you get to build in the clown stuff into the deck. You have I'm not going to say like a super minimalistic clown package, because this is 5 and then 10 cards, 11 cards within the main deck for clowns. And obviously, you know, you have the Herald within the extra deck. So, you know, if you get this dumped down, congratulations, you know, you now have a pivot point to kind of bridge through things, which is interesting. We also do get to see the Vanities ruler down here. Yeah, I would truly love the experience getting blown out by this card. Like, you're playing Ritual and Light and Darkness Dragon, and then all of a sudden, you know, you just pivot, drop this down, your opponent just stares at you and goes, what in the world just happened to me? That's why, like, tech choices like this can become very, very powerful. Also, this list is playing the interesting Underworld Goddess for the board break. That's very interesting. Oh my god, Atlanteans. So remember, the OCG still has access to Water Barrier Statue. Water Barrier Statue gets to do some dumb things by just simply locking your opponent out of the game. I know, it's not, shouldn't be allowed, but it is. We also do get to see Minstrel for the hand ripping. We're also playing triple Small World. Small World being a bridge point for this deck is actually probably pretty safe. We're also playing 2 Totally Awesome. It's crazy that the OCG just allows you to make Bahamut Shark to kind of pivot through your lines here, which is so interesting. We also do get to see more cool tunes. Triple Fallen and Virtuous. Yet, once again, we get to continuously see Fallen and Virtuous showing up with the same 2 combo lines within these lists. We also see Reframing pushed down here into the side deck. We also do get to see Sky Striker here. This is interesting. So this is where you get to play Cyanos within the deck instead of the extra Rose, but this list is choosing not to actually play the Desires. This is fine. I do think Desires has its place within this deck, especially like once you start kind of digging in to try to find more of those power cards as you're kind of going. It makes sense to why certain players choose to play it, because it can be a pain in the butt, honestly, for consistency. If you lose your Rose, you're out probably a lot. We get to see Blitzclick here. Actually playing the 2 Thunder King Rhino. I've noticed a lot of these lists have been trying to up the amount of Thunder King Rhino, and I think that's fine. Obviously, the reason why this card's so good is it's such a powerful floodgate that can also blink out, you know, a summon. Like, that in and itself usually can just win you games on the spot, and I understand that. Gordian Slicers for more defense as well. And of course, we have Sacred Beast actually playing the double Pharah. That was the one thing that we were wanting to see, is Sacred Beast going to continue to kind of still play the Pharahs to make sure that your spell cards can actually resolve? Because, you know, you get these power spells up and running. It's very good. We're playing the Crusadia monster too? No way. Oh my god, we can OTK with the Crusadia. That's hilarious. We also have more Ritual of Light and Darkness Dragon, or Ritual of Light and Darkness. Triple Fallen and Virtuous, triple Nadir Servant. This is where the deck is pivoting now, people. Yeah. Congratulations, I guess. So judging by what was present in this event and how, you know, things kind of went, I'm not surprised. Not at all. I understand why this meta is, you know, doing the things it's doing, why the developments are happening the way they are. And you got a lot of very funny things happening here, which is very, very awesome. So please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.